It's Zane from Reese, and today I'll be teaching you how to start up your own Android ACH plugins. The first thing we're going to got to here is over to this website, and just as a side note, before we start, this tutorial is already assuming you kind of know how to use Android Studio. You already kind of know how to use a physical device as an emulator, since ATAK kind of doesn't like that using emulators, but other than that it should be relatively easy. So you would go here, and on this releases page, you're going to have to look at the latest. It'll be at the top and called B. Latest. For now it's 465, but if you're watching this in the future, then it might be some other numbers. So you're going to go ahead and click to download the zip now. I've already done this a couple times, so I'll just cancel it soon since it's download load. You'll find something like this. I have it in a tutorial file. You'll have it in downloads or whatever, and then wherever you want, move this to, whatever I have it in tutorial, and then extract your zip out form. It was just as simple as right-clicking, but some of you might have two-pin, and then hit extract, and wherever you want to do it, depending on your operating system. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this, and then go into the folder, go in one more. Okay, so we have a bunch of jar files. This is all describing stuff that we kind of need to build things in AAC, but we shouldn't really be worried about most of this. I'll go ahead and copy plugin templates Control, and then I'll right-click, make a new folder in here and call it plugins. Make sure it's called this exactly. It's kind of magical. And then I'll paste the plugin template. This is going to be or plugin, and we're going to be messing around with it. So go to Android Studio, open now. I gotta go fin this, so for you go ahead and find whatever folder you saved it in, and then you got a 4605, which you downloaded into Exinta plugins. That's what you made, and then you'll see plugin template. If you copied it exactly as I did, hit it OK. Don't be afraid if it immediately breaks. That's normally what it does. So, as is expected, it immediately breaks. Well, let's go ahead and fix that. We're going to got to build.gradle on the Apple Vel, and this is not the Apple Vela. Now, where is I? There to so go into a pan, then go into this. So instead of def this you have to do ext.next. We want to click on our terminal button. If I could find it there, and I have two commands to copy, you'll find this in the README. I'll put in the description this video. So we're generating a debug key store and our lease key store. Don't worry too much about it for now. So I just use RSA, but you can do whatever algorithm you want. Anyways, since we've done that, you can open Android Studio, or we'll already have Android Studio open into where's local properties there, and I will still just paste it. I don't need this Sony way. So has a comment said for path. So if you are on Mac or Linux, you're going to use the /. So for me, I'm going to replace these two with /. But if your Windows, leave that as double /. Now, since we just generated our debug key store and our release key store, we can right-click, copy path reference, and I'll just use absolute path because I can't really be bothered. Okay, once you've done that, do the same for the release key store, do absolute path again. Okay, now that we've done that, I believe we should auto file project structures, so make sure it's 422 and 691 do not upgrade, no matter how much it begs you to upgrade, and I got a SDK location, it's probably fine. I think I have an older version of this. 1 second. I'll go fin the menu right, and we're back. So I would just go into where did settings go right there, and then under build execution deployment build tools, Gradle, look into Gradle JDK, and then you need 11 for this stalling that is version dependent based on your operating system. I'll sure you can figure out how to install Java ver. Sion shidokai and then try again. This should work. Take a look at the build and perfect. Now we have the Android view, so now we can switch between project and Android view, and it recognizes it as an apps. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the actual H app APK we want. So for me, I'll go into files and we'll go back on one, and you see this AAC cap K. We're going to need to load this on our device or whatever our testing thing is. So for me, I open up my devices thing, and it's going to be slow here, but I would basically just drag and drop it into the downloads folder, and I'll show you what that looks like right now. All right, so I have this AACK I downloaded some months back. I would click it, and then it would install the app, but I don't need it because I already have it. So there's that. And then you would use that app, the one on the Play Store, that it's very important that you wouldn't use the one on the Play Store, the one that comes in your repos. So that's the app we're going to use to test in our Tempore standard apps. So on OK, and since it's a plugin and not an app, we have to kind of change the way we load things onto our apps. So we're going to have specific build settings. So if we go into op, this drag down, I think it's run configurations, and then edit configurations, we'll see that we only have kind of like apps of first we're going to launch. There's no default activity. It's a plugin, so we're going to nothing apply. We'll rename this to, for clarity, let's say app new install. Or if we're even smarter than that, we should probably say plugin new install, better naming. And then to left of the window, we're going to click copy, and then we'll have a new one. Soon of these will be ren. We'll rename this to plugin, reinstall, apply that. And this will be kind of whenever we're reinstalling the plugin super fast. It'll just be useful when we're fast debugging. And we should have something in one secretes. So what we want to do is on plugin reinstall, not app new install or plugin new install, we go into plugin reinstall gotta before going to add a before launch command. So that'll be running an external tool. And then add-on. And then say example plugins of, or you would be whatever plugin the name is, like cool plugin or whatever, for example plugin, whatever your project name is, you should prob. Abli name it there and then reinstall RIA, whatever name works, and then nor program is ADB and our argument's going to be uninstall come. AAC map, we're just going to be stealing whatever is here. So AAC map, Android. Plugin template and diffi were you before this line say, I'll hit OK now, but cancel later. Refi you want to do your refactoring. Now like change your project names that you can commit it to our poor whatever, like rename Taucool dash project or whatever. I'm not sure. You should do it there and then rename a bunch of your tools and stuff. You should probably do it there here. But since I'm going to leave it as an example, I'm going to just use this command. And whenever you update your packages of which shouldn't be 210 after this, you'll just you'll just kind of update this command. So working directory, this should just be your projects directory, your templates or your PL plugins, and then it'll just paste it in for you. So this should work. And then OK, then apply OK. So, and then I think I forgot something really quick. I think for reinstall, if you go ahead and edit this, I think you have town tick this, and then that should be it. Just make sure to UNS synchronize, and that should be it. And the last thing we do before we actually test this is we're going to look at bailed variant. S should be in the bottom left or somewhere on the left. And then since this is on mild debug like military debug, we're doing civilian work, so if debug this will work with the civilian APK since that's what we're testing on. So we go ahead, open our atch up, it should be right here. And then if we go into our new install, you'll see that once I run this, of course, it's crashing because I had some issues earlier with another plugin I was working on. Okay, anyways, fixing that. If you hit new install. And of course, it shouldn't crash on your first open. It was only crashing because I was working on some things. So if I hit new install, first off, the build should just straight work once. Again, of course, I've made a mistake because I just doubled onto their debug key store, and this is not a directory. Okay? And if I do it now, you got to install anyway. It's your app, of course, and then load the plugin. H will recognize it. And then it should just show up here, a plugin template. There won't be anything here. And yeah, that's kind of it. You can now work on whatever you want. So if I were you, I would take a look, refactor this stuff, of course. This repo will be up on GitHub. I'll send the link plus arithmet to all the instruction hand in the next part of the series. I'm going to change all this Java out with Kotlinu, including the Gradle script, that I can sound till the enough you have a project that you want to be made on a ATAK, go ahead and contact Godfrey. His email will be put in the description. And he'd Vito talk to you about what we can do for your business needs, but other than that, that should be it.